Okay, good morning for you too. Today we're going to start off with the new lesson on E-Math. So please take out your E-Math textbook 4A and turn to page 6, exercise 1.1. Basically, today we're going to make use of your calculator to do calculation, meaning you have to find the standard deviation as well as the mean of data given to you. With regard to what mean and standard deviation is, you can actually Google online to find out the meaning. But today, solely, we are just going to make use of the calculator for us to do our calculation. So with your textbook, the next thing that I need you to do is have your calculator with you. First thing, for the use of sharp calculator, okay, before you can do anything, whenever we need to calculate mean, which is the average, as well as the standard deviation, the first thing I need you to do is to clear the memory of the calculator. I'm going to show you once. Second function, alpha, you see 0, 1 and 2. Okay, to clear the memory, alright, usually we press reset 2 followed by 0. So we are at the normal mode. Now, we need to go to the statistics mode to do our statistic calculation on mean as well as standard deviation. So the next thing you need to do is to actually press mode. You'll see some values. Look for number 1 for stat. And look for number 0 for standard deviation. And there you are, we are ready to begin our calculation. I am ready. Are you ready? Now, referring to page 6, let's take a look at the very first question. Question 1D. You are told to find the mean and standard deviation. Even though they use the definition, they ask you to use the definition, no. Today the lesson is solely on just the use of the calculator. How to calculate the mean as well as standard deviation. Okay, question 1D, as you can see, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and 14. So there are a total of 7 individual values. So we are going to do step number 2, calculating mean and standard deviation for ungrouped data. Alright, what we mean by single data. So now that we are already all at our statistic mode, very simple, just key in the values one by one and store it inside. So the first value is number 2. Store, which is the change button, and you'll be stored inside. You realize there's a data set 1 now. Similarly, 4, store. 6, store. 8, store. 10, store. 12, store. 14, store. Data set 7, because there are a total of 7 data. Alright, there are 3 very important buttons that you need to take note of. Okay, first thing, you need to check where is your recall button, which is just right here, RCL. Recall 3 buttons that you need. If you see on top of 0, to the right side, there is an N, meaning it will tell you the number of data you have keyed in. Similarly, on top of number 4, there is an X bar. This is the notation for calculating mean, which is the average of the data. Likewise, on top of 6, this is sigma X, which is also the standard deviation symbol. So now, very quickly, let us recall. There are a total of 7 data being stored inside. So, recall 0. Notice n is equal to 7. Likewise, we want to find out what is the mean. Recall 4. The mean here is 8. Last but not least, the standard deviation. Recall 6. I have 4 exactly. Do you have the same answer as mine? If yes, that's very good. Let's try another question. But before we move on, very important, please reset the memory. You don't have to reset everything, just reset memory. So press 1. So if you can see, we are still at the standard deviation mode. Now, one more question on single data. Let us all try question 2A together. There are total of 4 values. First, 12. Stop. 14. Stop. 19. Stop. 20. Stop. Very good. Always check how many values have you keyed in. Recall 0. There are a total of 4 values. Next, check the mean. Recall 4. 16.25. Last but not least, standard deviation. Notice there's a range of numbers, so if we want to write our answer, we always write to 3SF. 3.34 would be the answer in this case. There you are. We are done with the calculation of mean and standard deviation for ungrouped data.